What is up, guys? Soul Sports backing up another video, and in today's video I'm going to discuss 3 players who the Miami Heat should trade for. Now, the Miami Heat made a surprising move this offseason, trading for Jimmy Butler and signing him to a 4-year max extension. This move shows that they believe they can still compete, but with how the team is currently constructed, I believe they are a borderline playoff team. Besides Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, they don't really have much going for them. Justice Winslow has yet to have that breakout season that everyone has expected him to have, and Goran Dragic has not been the same since his All-Star season 2 seasons ago. They also have Tyler Herro, but he is a rookie, and I don't believe he can come in and be that second scoring option for you this season. For them to be able to contend, they will need to trade for a good/great player to pair up with Jimmy Butler, and I have 3 players who I believe will help this team out tremendously. The first player I want to discuss is Bradley Beal. Last year, Bradley Beal had a phenomenal season, putting up 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, while playing in all 82 games, and is someone who has been linked to the Miami Heat. A trade I envision would be Tyler Herro, Justice Winslow, James Johnson to fill cap, and a future protected pick or maybe even 2. Looking at this trade from both parties, for the Heat you are getting a guy who gives you 25 points a night, while also being very reliable. Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal would be one of the best duos in the East, and Bradley Beal is the guy who can help you rise up in the standings. After what I believe to be the top 3 teams in the East, in the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Celtics, the East is very open. With the Nets, yes, they do have Kyrie and Caris LeVert, but we don't know how much they can do. For the Pacers, Victor Oladipo will be out until at least the new year, so we don't know how their team will be. And for the Raptors, with Kawhi Leonard gone, we don't know how they will come back, so this trade could definitely propel the Heat and turn them into a top 4 team in the East. For the Wizards, you are getting Tyler Herro, who has had a great summer league and has had some comparisons to Devin Booker. And you are also getting Justice Winslow, a guy you hope can improve his game and become something special. This trade also helps to speed up your rebuild, and having a young core of Roy Hachimura, Tyler Herro, and Justice Winslow is a good one. Another trade that has been talked about is the Heat trading for both John Wall and Bradley Beal, but in my opinion, I don't believe this trade gets done because it will involve the Heat completely gutting their roster. The next player I'm going to discuss is Danilo Gallinari. Danilo Gallinari was traded to the Thunder alongside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and multiple picks for Paul George, and the Thunder have basically put him on the trading block. Danilo Gallinari last year had probably his best season of his career, averaging 20 points per game and being healthy. Trading for Danilo Gallinari would be easier for the Miami Heat than Bradley Beal because the Thunder are obviously not looking for a crazy package for him. A deal that I see for Danilo Gallinari is Justice Winslow and Meyers Leonard, or maybe even you could convince the Thunder to take back Meyers Leonard and future protected picks or just future picks in general. For the Heat, you are getting a stretch big that will help your team out tremendously. Danilo Gallinari would open up the offense, and the pick and pop with him and Goran Dragic would be something good. Also, this trade will open up the paint for Bam Adebayo and allow him to flourish there. Now, I don't believe that Danilo Gallinari will have the same impact as Bradley Beal, but he will otherwise be a great addition to the team. For the Thunder, you are getting Justice Winslow, a player who can play both the forward position and the point guard position, and against someone you hope will take a big leap. Or you're just getting more picks to add on to your stockpile of picks that you already have. The last player I'm going to discuss is Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin last year had arguably his best season of his career, putting up 24.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and led the Pistons to the playoffs. But with that being said, I believe it's time for the Pistons to scrap it and rebuild. For the Pistons, they were just the 8th seed last year and made little improvements to their roster this past offseason. They have tons of money tied up to not so deserving guys such as Reggie Jackson, Langston Galloway, and Tony Snell. And not to mention, Andre Drummond is due for a big extension in this upcoming offseason. A trade that I envision for Blake Griffin will be the same trade for Bradley Beal. For the Heat, trading for Blake Griffin adds one of the best power forwards to your team and a player that can be a great first or second option. And also, just like Bradley Beal, Blake Griffin is a guy who I believe can propel you and make you a top team in the East. Now for the Pistons, you are accelerating your rebuild, getting back Tyler Herro and Justice Winslow, and adding them to the young core you already have of Luke Kennard and Sekou Doumbouya. Not to mention you have the contract of Tony Snell, Andre Drummond, and Reggie Jackson coming off the books at the end of this year. This trade makes a lot of sense for the Detroit Pistons, as they're a team who has struggled to find success for the past decade. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like and sub and share with your friends. And leave down, your opinions down below. But with that being said, that's So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.